A very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook here for Euro USD and the other major dollar pairs, and of course gold. So starting off with Euro USD here on the time frame using supply and demand, market structure, and of course liquidity concepts, we can see that the market structure here on the daily time frame is still bearish from this high in towards this low. So we get a big impulse down, then we get that correction sideways. Now Euro USD this year has pretty much evolved into an area of consolidation. I would say we're kind of stuck inside of this box, guys. And what happens very often when we have an area of consolidation inside a box? What you'll see is that we sweep the high and we sweep the low, because stops are above the range and stops are below the range. So what you can very obviously see here on the daily time frame is how clearly we have swiped the stops above the area of consolidation, as you can see, and straight away a pretty strong reaction in towards the downside. Therefore, I'm still keeping my eyes open for a potential further sell-off towards the lows where there is still a lot of liquidity lying underneath. Okay, obviously it doesn't need to happen, because we can see this year we've been in a bullish trend, creating a higher high and a higher low and a higher low. So we could just keep on moving upwards, but I do like the fact that we kind of liquidated the high of this overall swing range, okay, which is an indication, guys, that we could head down lower. Now moving in towards the 4-hour time frame on Euro USD, what are we seeing? Well, on Thursday we saw a strong sell-off in towards the downside, pretty much the only eventful thing that happened last week. Now what I'm looking for and what I see at the moment is pretty much this internal trend, which is bearish, right? So we get the low, we get the lower low, we get the high, we get the lower high. So what I'm now looking for is for this pretty much pattern over here to complete. And as you guys know, 1, 2, and now I'm looking for that third potential low over here, or just a single swipe of that second low. That is what I would prefer for now. So looking for a potential short here on the 4-hour in line with fractal structure. So in line with fractal structure, what do I mean by that? Well, as long as the high of this bullish candle holds, we should still move down lower, because this is now our bearish fractal range. Okay, guys, so this is structure at the moment. And what I'm looking for is a potential sell-off again, as long as this high over here holds. If this high breaks, then I'll be looking for longs once again on Euro USD. So that's the 4-hour pretty much explained. Now going into the 15-minute time frame, what are we seeing over there? So the 15-minute time frame is bearish. We get the impulse down, we get this slow correction, then we get the impulse down, and now we have again a slow correction. So at the moment, this slow correction is just consolidating, as we can very clearly see. Overall, we had kind of like this internal structure form with impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback. Then boom, no reaction to what supply whatsoever. Impulse up, and now a pullback, and we're just consolidating again. So what I'm waiting for as of now is for the market to push up, grab liquidity above this liquidity high over here, and then potentially start looking for a sell-off. That is my, let's say, optimal setup, because we should respect that 4-hour swing high, because this is your 4-hour swing high, like I just explained. This is also your 15-minute swing high. We have a fresh 15-minute supply zone. So that's the optimal short that I'm looking for, excuse me. So yeah, if that happens, I would be happy to look for shorts. Otherwise, what would we be looking for today? And as you can see, the PO3 indicator is acting as our support zone for now. What I'm looking for is otherwise a clean break below this IBOS low, and then a clean break, and then I'll be looking for a double break. So I'll be taking a short on the break of that low over here. Okay, so that would be the other setup that I would be happy to take here on Euro USD. So for now, no longs until we break that 15-minute swing high, guys. That is when I'll be looking for a long. You could already look for a short inside here, like for example here we have a liquidity high, and then you just take it, boom, and then boom, something like this, where we get like a break of structure again, because that would or that could be the potential setup, but I'm not just going to risk it here on a Monday. So just keep to those two other setups which I just mentioned is what I would do. Go into the dollar index, start here on the daily. So daily is still bearish, but not focusing too much on it. Just based on the daily, guys, there is still room for the market to head up higher. This is where supply lies, guys, with a refined area of supply on this buy before the sell. So there is still room for the dollar index to push up higher, guys, very clearly on the daily. Now, going into the 4-hour, what can we see over there? So the 4 hour, it hasn't changed since last week. We still have this area of demand over here. We still have that bullish fractal structure, and we still have not tapped into this 4 hour area of supply, this buy for the sell-off, or this refined supply, which is the exact same as on the daily I just mentioned. So here on the dollar index, I am still looking for further upside from the demand zone. That would still make sense. Go into the 1 hour real quick, what you can very clearly see, guys, and this is just a quick lesson. Take notes. No liquidation in the move up. This is your demand zone. What happens? You see an initial reaction, people go long, but then because we had not had any liquidation, we liquidate the own low, and then a move up again occurs. So let's see if we can take out this high, this 1 hour area of supply. If we do, I would be very confident that the dollar index is ready to push up higher. But it's Monday morning, so a little bit slow for now still. Go into Aussie dollar. What is happening over there? So Aussie dollar on the 4 hour time frame rejected that area of supply, which we mentioned on Friday. So yeah, what we can see is pretty much just that bearish reaction, but we're still kind of stuck because if we want Aussie dollar to sell off hard, we need to break this area of demand. Okay, so this demand zone is still suppressing price and causing price not to fall down. So let's see. If this demand zone holds, we could still just keep on trickling up higher. I'll only be looking for a short, guys, on Aussie dollar once we break this 4 hour demand zone, because that is also a fractal break of structure, and then I'll be happy to look for a short. Otherwise, we could just continue moving up higher. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Go into the daily real quick. On the daily, we have already tapped into this overall order flow, the buy before the sell, as you can see. So in that regard, it does look good, with the daily also being bearish for the downside, but we just need now market structure to align. Now going into pound dollar, I nearly forgot. What are we seeing on pound dollar? So pound dollar actually kind of liquidated the low down below over here, as you can see, then reversed extremely hard back in towards the upside. We came in towards this supply zone on Friday. We saw an initial bearish reaction, but no real follow through on that Friday. It was a little bit messy and slow. Now, pound dollar is extremely, let's say, just messy for now. I'm not a big fan of it. What is going on? Still, just keeping in mind, very simply said, bearish swing, correction in towards the highs, and then another correction coming in towards the highs. So it would make sense in line with the overall structure for it to start further selling off. Okay, guys, for a further sell-off, it would make sense. But the 4 hour is still a little bit ugly. I'm only going to be interested in any shorts, let's say Tuesday or whatever, so tomorrow, if we start breaking, let's say the lows over here, okay? So we need to start breaking the lows, then I'll look to sell towards this area of demand. Otherwise, we could just start grabbing some liquidity and keep on pushing a little bit higher for the rest of the week. Let's see what happens inside of this order block. That is for now my main, I don't want to say concern, but my main focus. Now moving into Kiwi dollar, so NZDUSD, what is going on that pair? So NZDUSD is reacting to this supply zone on the daily, which is nice. Obviously as well, if we take the daily swing, you can very clearly, oh wait, sorry guys, the daily is still bullish, my bad, over here. So we're now rejecting pretty much the 50% mark of that swing range, but not focusing too much on the daily because the daily is pretty, let's say, consolidative. Going into the 4 hour, which is a lot more interesting in my opinion, with also Kiwi being extremely bearish and me being a little bit more bullish on the dollar, I am looking for a short on NZDUSD because NZDUSD, right? NZD down, USD up. What does this mean? It means that the overall pair will go down. Just always focus on the first number or on the first pair. So NZD, if the chart of NZD just goes down, it means NZD is weak. If NZD chart goes up, it means NZD is strong. NZD is fundamentally bearish, so I am looking for a short. Optimal short would be if we swipe this high, and then I'll be looking for an aggressive short in towards downside in line with this overall buy before the sell-off. Might just take a swing like this with a big stop loss of like 60 pips and just target the lows again for a 1 to 3. That is what I might do. Going in towards gold, what are we seeing over there? We're seeing a bullish gold as expected fundamentally. I took a long on gold on I think it was Friday, Overall bullish here on the 4-hour time frame, so that is very clear. We get the pullback in towards the downside, we break structure over here, bullish low, bullish high. So now we're just seeing a pullback in towards this demand zone, and then from there obviously we're now expecting a new higher high and a new all-time high to be formed. So now it's up to us to look on the lower time frame to identify a potential long opportunity. Now after breaking this 1-hour area of supply and being in it for a very long time, I decided to take a long on the lower time frame on Friday. Now, what I'm looking for is pretty much for gold just to keep on pushing, and the next target is pretty much this 1-hour area of supply at around 24.51, guys. So expecting higher prices on gold, just as simple as that. Follow order flow and look for those potential longs. That's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you a fantastic day and speak soon.